good road trip. Coming off the Kansas City game, having some success leading up to Kansas City, and then having that game that we had. You are always curious on how a team responds to a game where we didn't score 50 points, where we're a team they kind of outdid what we've been doing to teams. They out-rebounded us. They did a lot of things, and kind of seeing how our guys responded going into environments like Denver and Oral Roberts, where I think they're 9-2 at home, both of them, right around that. Good home teams that, man, just really talented players that offensively are terrific, and have the players to really put it on you if you're not ready to play. And so with those games, just different guys at different moments, and it's really hard to ever point it to like one or two or three guys. I feel like throughout games, at Denver, it was Eli King in the first half and what he did offensively for us, and what he's been doing for us defensively has been phenomenal. But I just felt like offensively he was terrific for us. Kind of, got some great looks at three, made those. Always plays with great pace, and it's different guys. And for an offensive game that he played, it was phenomenal. But that second half, and again, what we continue to do defensively, and it starts a little bit with Tyree, but it's a total team effort when you're guarding a guy like Tommy Bruner. Thought our bigs did an awesome job. But Tyree, we're asking a lot out of him and what he's doing in ball screen defense. And it isolates him a little bit. It puts him on an island. And, against Tommy Bruner, really did an awesome job. We were able to get Tommy in early foul trouble, posting Trey up and doing some different things because they're trying to put him on guys that maybe are more three-point shooters. But just, Trey can do a lot more than just shoot the ball. So we love putting him in the post when we can, and I think that helped some. It helped also against McBride on Saturday. But what Trey did offensively in the second half, he just kind of got it going, and it's good when you've got a few different guys like that. BJ can do the same thing and has so many times for us. But just a total team win. Amar on the glass and defensively. Just all those guys and the different things they're doing for us. And then you fast forward it to Oral Roberts. Again, what Tyree, I think Tyree had 4 blocks. I think McBride had 4 times he got a shot blocked. So I think all 4 of his blocks came on Isaac McBride. Getting under screens, blocking a shot, blocking him when he tried to, and he still ended up with some points, but like he really made it frustrating for Isaac. Because he's a terrific player, but Tyree's, man, different animal defensively, and he was really geared in for both of those guys. And I just thought that had a lot to do with our success over the weekend, was his defense on 2 guards that are some of the better scoring guards in the country. One thing that gets overlooked a little bit is, a guy like Brady Danielson in that Oral Roberts game, he hit a big 3 and did some things, but I think he played almost 16 minutes and he was a plus 14. And it just goes to show you, the impact he has on winning is really good. Trey had it going early in the first half, then BJ had it going in the second half offensively. And throughout the game, different guys made different plays. But it's fun to see, what Eli's doing when he's not necessarily scoring. He impacts the game. And what Brady Danielson does for us is phenomenal. I thought Sotenay awesome, rebounding with 8. So again, just different guys making impacts for us, and more importantly than anything is just the momentum and the energy and the juice we're getting from our bench, from the guys that are playing, but from the guys that aren't playing. I just think they're really bought in about the team and what they can be doing to help. And if it's bringing energy and filling that role, they're doing an awesome job with that. So, got to have a good practice today, and that's kind of what our focus is. But overall happy with the weekend.
NDSU got off to a real strong start against you guys last time. Obviously, you came out with a win. But how important is it to get off to a good start and kind of slow down an explosive start, especially in their home building?
You always want to get off to a good start. I just think it's one of those things where you don't ever really know going into a game, how it's going to start. You always hope for that kind of start. But at the end of the day, come out with the right mindset of what it's going to be. Be ready for the hard, be ready for the grind, be ready for the physicality, be ready to do the things that are between the lines a little bit of being pretty. Be ready to get out there and really get in a stance and compete. And it allows you at least to, whether you're off to a great start offensively or not, it allows you to kind of stay into a game early on and kind of play through it. And we managed to do that a little bit at our place, but we've got to do a better job of that, no question, going down to Fargo on Saturday.
When you're preparing for a player like Andrew Morgan and the physicality, old school big man kind of type player that he can be down low, how do you simulate that and prepare your guys in the post?
Yeah, Big Ryan Erickson for us has done an awesome job simulating other post players. It's funny because he can stretch out and shoot threes. I will tell him sometimes, hey Ryan, just go to your right shoulder today, or hey Ryan, just go to your left shoulder today. What Ryan's going to love about trying to play a guy like Morgan is that Morgan can go either shoulder and he could stretch out and make a three, rebounds hard. The respect I have for Andrew Morgan and the kind of player he is, I just think I think he's probably the best true big scoring, defense, all those things. I love how Amar rebounds. I love how Amar competes. I love all that. But what Morgan can do from an offensive standpoint, scoring the ball, is phenomenal. They can just give him catches and let him go to work. So we're ready. We got a great guy in Amar and T and Brian that we're going to need them all. And I know Amar's up for challenges. He loves it. And so it's going to be an awesome opportunity for him to go against a big that's playing at a really, really high level right now.
And then last one for me here, Trace Eaglestaff. You saw it in spurts last year for sure, but it's starting to turn into a really consistent two-way basketball player. What kind of growth have you seen in his game?
I just think a lot of it is just the shoulders up of learning how to kind of handle all the outside noise and all the inside pressures he puts on himself. I think he's a young guy from North Dakota that takes a lot of pride in playing here. I think he takes a lot of pride in representing his state and his community and everything else. I think he's such a kind-hearted young guy that I think he sometimes looks at mistakes more than he does positives and successes. And I think what he's understanding is he's a pretty good player. He can impact the game on both sides of the floor. I think he's a good teammate. He can make plays for other people. And a lot of it is just kind of relaxing sometimes and letting it find him. He doesn't have to ever force it because it just kind of oozes from him at times. And I always tell him, just let it come. You don't have to force anything because the ball's going to find you. And when you find that rhythm of your game, not only are you scoring the ball, but you're making plays for other people that help them get easy shots. But the impact he can have defensively, I think he's taken a great step on the defensive side. He's doing a great job of keeping guys in front of him better. Just being more consistent. Every now and then there's a lapse of focus where he'll give up a three or he'll get back cut on, where he'll do that. But it's amazing how many times he's made a play with that, where he's blocked a shot when he's gotten beat on a back cut. It's funny, and he gets steals because his instincts and timings and just feel for it are pretty good. So overall game is continuing to get better and improve, and just an absolute joy to coach as a human. He's a fun kid, and as that switch continues to kind of flick on more and more, I think what he had his 28, then he had 0, then he came back and went for 33. So, yeah, I don't think he was too fazed by having 0. I think he's a kid that from a confidence standpoint is really starting to believe that he isn't just a good shooter or he's a really good basketball player. And the fun thing is the weight shouldn't be on his shoulders. He's got a lot of teammates that can make a lot of plays as well. So I think just having that feeling that it's just not all on him means a lot, because guys like BJ is doing a lot too for us, and so it's fun to see it all kind of come together a little bit. But man, we got to keep the right frame of mind and right mindset and have a good practice on a Wednesday and not let player of the week stuff interfere with what you need to be doing to help your team.
You were giving Tyree a lot of praise earlier, just with the amount of responsibility you're kind of putting on him this season. Very interesting trajectory back to North Dakota. How happy are you, and how happy do you feel like he's been to be back in this position and taking on such a big role?
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously we're pretty happy that he's back. I think the whole thing when it happened was the reason and why and what do you want to do here, Tyree? And I think he just really had the right frame of mind on the why. I think it's tougher on young people like that to really call where you were and say, I want to come back. And to me, that meant something. Like, it really was, he's got to look at it and you're calling the place that you left and you're saying, I would like to come back. And I think that's a really hard thing for kids to do. So, that was the first start of it. But there's a really awesome maturity that he's had this year. There's just been a lot in his life with what's been going on. From waivers to not getting his waiver to getting appeal denied to you can play without penalty, you can play with penalty, then you can just play. And he's handled that with a lot of maturity. And he's had other stuff in his life going on too. And just it's been fun to see. I feel like he's playing with a lot of joy. I think he's playing with a smile, but with a competitive grit to him that he's just a really smart player, both sides of the floor. And you can kind of treat him like that. And I think he's really taken that responsibility of having freedom to play. And he's taken it like a grown man and really done a great job with that responsibility. So I'm really proud of him. It's been fun to coach him. No question, he's been a huge plus for our team. But, man, like, our transfers have been awesome, like Eli King and Amar. Those three guys have added so much to our team that it's really kind of helped us on both sides of the floor. So